Hello guys, today I'm going to show you guys how to mod your Nerf Recon CS-6. Mine has obviously been painted. I also have mine modified already. I'm just going to show you basically how I've got mine to shoot so far in hard. Just in my yard I've got it to shot, anywhere between, depending on how mushed up the bullet is, or just the type of bullet. Now I've got it shoot from about 75 to 100 feet. In many other videos they would just show you how to stretch the spring and remove the air restrictors, and every once in a while a little bit of grease. Well, I'm going to show you a little more and get you an extra couple of feet. So you're going to want to start by removing all the screws, and then you're going to set it down. Take off your back clip. Don't worry. Mine, you can see obviously the back clip here. I don't have the extended thing out to here. Mine's a little different, but the internals are all the same. So you're just going to start by taking it open, and mine has already been modded, so the spring surprisingly would normally pop out, but this time it didn't for some weird reason. We'll just slowly try and get that out gently. So here's what it'll look like whenever you first open it up, minus the white there. That is a mod I've done. I'll show you guys in a sec. I have removed the back half of the barrel plastic. It is right here. This is my old one, and I just got tired of it because it kept cracking on me. I will warn you guys, whenever you stretch your spring, you do take the, basically you're kind of taking it with all of it, but you're taking a risk of breaking some parts. Not that it will. Since my metal barrel, I have not broken anything actually. I'm very happy with the metal barrel, and it's held up pretty good for me. And I jam pretty hard on them, cocking them back and slamming them all the time. But it's held up pretty well, so I'm pretty happy with that and impressed. So once you get all the guts out, most of them except for this, you don't need to touch any of that. And just this little thing, which is what releases your clip, so you can just leave that in, and that's your whole inside basically all emptied out. All this is just black paint from whenever I painted mine. Don't worry about that. But I'll set that aside here. And whenever you get your gun, you'll have, not that on there, you'll have, it'll basically look like this for you guys that are just now starting off, minus this also blue or black or whatever is in their screen. Tape on here. I tried to do that to quiet it down some, but what I did is, first, before, you would look down here and there's a air restrictor, and most of the time it will look something like this thing here, something like that, and it'll have a long type thing like that which will hold your dart in. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a drill bit about the size of the barrel, and basically if you have a long one you can go back. It's a little easier, that's what I did. But if you don't have that long of one, you can just go in from the front here and just drill it all right out. It'll all just fall out, and basically you want it to be all the way hollow, just like that. Obviously yours is metal and shiny and then set like that, but it will be just like that on your plastic one too. Then your second step is stretching your spring. Now, by stretching your spring, you're basically taking the risk that I did, and I wanted mine stretched super hard so I could shoot super far. Well, what happens is you have your barrel here, which was like that, and whenever you press the trigger, this gets released forward, and it slams up on the barrel, like that. And what happened basically is, to mine, it kept getting slammed forward, so right here it was cracking all the time, and I would super glue it and everything, and it would just keep breaking because I like to stretch my spring out very high. For those of you that don't really care to stretch out the spring so hard, you don't really have to worry about this. This is for just the people that, you know, want to try and mod them as much as possible. So basically what I did is I took this piping. You're going to want to try and get a pipe that's, you know, snug for the bullet, because, you know, the more the bullet wiggles in there, the more air will get by. So you want it to be pretty snug with the bullet and all. But the bullet don't really go in there that much. It just kind of goes in right about to here-ish. And also, there's a little hole there. It's black right now, right in front of the white piping. It's black. It's a hole, and all I did is basically filled it in with a solder gun. I kind of just mushed the plastic over it. So what I did for my barrel too is I had these two O-rings, and I put them on it, and they sat there pretty snug. And I just wrapped some kind of electrical tape around it. Electrical tape worked very well, actually. I'm very happy with the electrical tape. And then I just, you know, kept putting wrapping the tape around, and then, you know, I'd put it over this, and I kept trying to see, you know, make sure it didn't struggle or something, or wasn't too tight. And then whenever I got it perfect, I just left it and put it back together. This grease stuff I'm using for the lube, I recommend it a lot. It's for RC cars, if any of you guys don't know them. It's Trinity shock oil, 100% pure silicone shock oil. It works very well. It's very slippery. My hands right now are very slippery, and it's hard to even hold things. You can see the tip too is all wet right now. Basically, it stays very lubed. Very often we have to take that off and re-lube it, but it's good every once in a while for it. So the next thing that a lot of people don't cover in their videos is basically on the models like mine, some of you may not have, about where my back finger is, right here, they have a block that goes from here to here, and it's the rest of it, so it's about probably an inch, inch and a half. And what it is where this screws in, it would go into another block or circle thing right about there. And so what I did is actually I unscrewed this, took that out first, and then I took my drill after I took that out, and I drilled out in there. I can't really see it, I don't think, but it's somewhat drilled out. I didn't have that big of a drill bit, so it's kind of crappy and all, but I don't give a crap. So anyways, after you drill that out, then you're going to want to put this back on, and what I did is I used a super glue. Any super glue will really work. Just, you know, the tougher the better and all. Obviously, I used instant glue too, and it's still holding up. So then basically, instead of having this much air to push out, now you have this much air that you're shoving out of your tube all at once really quick. So after you do that, that's about all really. Like I said, you know, just seal the hole here, and then you know, don't worry about putting a metal barrel on if you don't intend on stretching your spring as far as I did. Like I said, the more you stretch it, you probably will need a metal one eventually. So just take that into thought while you're making it. There's not really much more to it. I just like to lube it every once in a while, and it works very great. I have like basically no air that gets out of here. It's very snug fit. My gun basically never jams up either too. There is only one lock that I've taken out. I've watched other people's videos, and they have told me, you know, take out, you know, a lock here or a lock here or something, and I have, and then I put it back together and it jams up, or something doesn't happen, or the bullet flies out whenever it's not supposed to. The locks here, I recommend taking out just the one that is closest to this wall here. You have that one, it's kind of tall and all, and then you have the shorter one, like that. Take out the one that goes right in that hole there. It does nothing. It's just basically the same as this one, kind of guides it. This one doesn't do much. It just holds up the bottom of your rail system right here. It just holds it up. So you just need one. That other one was kind of just there is a second one, I guess. Didn't really do much though, or sometimes jammed up my gun. Do not take out this one in the front here. I did that, and if you can see in there, there's a little thing that sticks up, and whenever you slide this back forward, it sticks up like it is right now, so your bullet doesn't go flying out the front as you're pushing this forward. And whenever you do that, after I took it out, my bullet was flying out. And so I decided to take it apart and put it back together, put it in, and it worked perfect. That's really all there is to the modding. I'll show you guys real quick how to put them back together, actually, if you'd like. It's very simple, I guess, unless you struggle with them. It's basically have, these two you can put together, obviously, and then you can take out this little orange clip that I just had you put in. So you're starting out with nothing really in there. There's a little pin thing on there you'll see, not the screw, but the one that sticks out more, and that has to line up with the holes on this, on both sides. So you just set that in there, going real nice and easily, like that, like so. And then you're going to slide it forward, and there should be a click. If I have it in right. And it kind of clicks in there, locks in there, I guess. Then your plunger 2 in the back has rails on it. The square part has to go on the bottom, and the wedge has to go on the top. There's little rails on the inside that keep it from spinning while it's in there, so you're going to want that lined up right. Then you have your little yellow piece that I showed you. Don't worry about putting the other one back in. This one just kind of clicks in there real quick. If I can get it with one hand. My hands are all lubed up and greasy now from that lube stuff. So it looks something like that. Then what I normally like to do is just put in the trigger here. That slides in there real nice. Push the spring in. And then what I do is have this in the back, and the spring goes on this side that we're working on, laying everything in. So you're going to lift up this piston basically, and you're going to try and wiggle the spring in there, and make sure you got the spring in all good. Then you're going to take your stretched out spring, assuming that you stretched out the spring, and you're going to just basically thread it in there. There's really not much to this gun. It's a pretty simple gun, pretty simple mod. Basically one of the funnest mods I think a lot of people like to do. There's not really much to it, but this is basically probably, I'd say, the gun that you can go the furthest with on your modding. And then basically put this on lightly. Make sure everything's all lined up on it. And it should go on nice and easy. Make sure everything locks down. And all you have left is your spring. Your spring, which is sticking out the back. And all I do for that is I just slowly push and thread it in. That's probably the hardest part of putting your gun back together. On the newer ones, actually, I just modded another one today for a friend, and it goes in further actually, so this was very easy to just push in basically. So that's about all really, I'm sure you can figure out how to put the rest of your gun back together. Just put this on, and then all your screws back in, and then your gun should hopefully shoot a lot further. Like I said, you don't have to do all the things I did. If you want, you can maybe take it apart, just use some oil on it or something, or just drill out the air restrictors, or maybe just stretch your spring. Stretching the spring is basically the biggest thing that helps. You could, leave in your air restrictors, leave that hole in there unplugged in the barrel, and just stretching your spring would make the biggest distance. But all those other things just kind of add in and make it go a lot further. So just basically after you get that on, all that's left is your box in the back, and you're all set. I will be showing probably other videos later on other mods I have. Like, I have a laser mod. On my silencer on the front, I have a barrel mod, and I will probably show another mod later, or go more into depth on how I installed my pipe. But for now, that's just the basic how to mod your gun. So I hope you guys liked it. Please rate, comment, and subscribe.